Derby fans, and welcome to the Under the Helmet podcast. Welcome everybody, episode 1 of the Under the Table podcast, Under the Helmet. We are here in Elizabeth, Indiana at the Rankin compound. Joining us today for the inaugural episode, we got the 354 of Patrick Rankin, the 54 of Brittany Rankin, and the number 4 of Maddie Rankin. Guys, how are we doing on this fine afternoon? Me and Brittany, we got our cold beverages. We're trying to keep warm on this cold day. We're sitting in the shop right now. We got cars in the background getting worked on, so hopefully it won't take too much long so these guys can get back to working on their cars for next season. This podcast is basically just talking about Derby, talking about life. We all have different similarities when it comes to this sport, but we'll go ahead and get started. Patrick, we'll start with you, buddy. How long have you been running? When did you start?
Let's see here. I started when I was 14. I think it was Christie, Indiana. It was actually my first Derby. It was a Mustang too. But yeah, I started at 14, but it started at my dad. My dad started in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, and that's when it started. It started like right there. He had me in the garage helping him, and then I got hooked.
So you knew from a young age that this is going to be your life for the next many years.
Yeah.
And Brittany, next to you, I mean, I think I filmed your first Derby way back in the day.
Yeah.
Was it pretty much bouncing off Patrick? You were kind of like, Patrick's going to get me in a car one day and just waiting on the time?
Yeah.
Or how did that go?
So, it's a funny story. I was actually terrified of derbies when I was younger. Like, we would go to the fair, and it would be really loud, and I would just be scared. And then I ended up marrying somebody who is a derby freak. So, for the longest time, I was like, I would never, ever get in a car. Well, I just kind of felt left out, because he would always be in the garage. I mean, this is his life. And I would just get really, like, bored, and I didn't know what I'm like, man, if you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
So I decided in 2019 that I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to run my first Derby. Was I terrified? Yes. But after that first hit, I was I'm addicted. Like, it is an adrenaline rush like no other. Absolutely love it. And now what's so awesome is that we all three run together.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So it's definitely a
family tradition.
Yeah,
in the making.
For sure. Yeah.
And Maddie, you're so young, you're only 14, but you've been coming through the ranks.
Yep.
You started at a very young age.
Power wheels.
Thanks to these two, you started at a very young age, and now you're working your way up. You just made the Youth Nationals this past October. You ran there. You qualified out of Lawrence County at Bedford this year. You placed third. What was it like pulling onto the track in a car for the first time? And when was that?
Honestly, it was 2021, Bash for Cash, 44 cars. There was so much. I had this bright neon freaking green car, bricked out. It was awesome. Pulling up that track, I just felt like this was all me. This was it. This was going to be my life for the next few years, and I was going to build my way up.
You were 11.
Yeah, I was 11 years old, and I was just the adrenaline rush, and I was scared, but man, when I was the first one to get from one end of the track to the other,
without hitting a car. I don't even know. Track from one car or one end to the other, and she was the first to pull out and did not hit a single car.
No, not a single one.
Sometimes you just gotta get the alignment right.
Right.
You can't make dumb shots off the get.
For sure.
Like, I think the first time I ever filmed, well, Brittany, you were in 2019. I filmed you at Paoli.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, wow, it's been a while since I first filmed you. I knew it was a Paoli recording show way back in the day when I first started.
Yep.
And Maddie, I think I first filmed you in 21 in a cleanup heat at Harrison County in Corden. And I'm like, what are these two thinking, putting this little girl in the car, going up against these big dogs? But you held your own. I think you placed second or third that night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you won.
Yeah,
you won the cleanup heat, and that is so. This is what Derby is about. Is the family tradition, the family atmosphere. We have so many awesome families in the sport, and really, you don't really see all generations on the track at the same time. We saw that this year. We'll get into that in a little bit. But going back on this year, starting out the year in 2024, where were your guys' mindset heading into the year, and what did you plan to accomplish? Patrick, we'll start with you.
Let's see here. 2024, I think it was the first show this year was Sturgis, wasn't it? I was riding a co-pilot, the big car co-pilot.
Yep.
Yeah. That started. That was a new interesting to try an 03 plus.
What a way to start a big car.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't hold up too well.
Yeah. I mean, I ran big cars, trucks, little trucks, mini cars. I don't think I haven't rode in as a lawnmower, but that would never happen.
We might get to change that one of these years. We might have to do some convincing like we did a few weeks ago as this is going up.
Right.
Brittany, how did you feel going into 2024?
I was really excited because it was my first fresh built car. So even though I ran the first derby I ran was Harrison County, and I actually won, it was not a fresh car. It was a car we went and bought somewhere down in Kentucky. And it was already built. We just tweaked it a little bit. So this was my first fresh car, and I did a lot of the work on it, so I was really proud of it. And I've had some I was really hopeful for this year, but man, sometimes everybody just has some bad luck. You know, it's just the name of the game, and you just gotta dust it off and keep going. But yeah, I am excited. The car looks beautiful, and she's still fresh. It's the end of the year, and this car is still fresh looking.
You don't know what the pedal is.
I do too know what the pedal is. Thank you very much. But it's just stupid stuff happening, like the alternator. My shifter broke. Like it's just dumb stuff that just comes with the name of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to next year and getting back out there.
Hopefully the bad luck ends.
You know, I did win a derby this year, so.
Hopefully the bad luck ends.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Maddie, going into this year, a few more years behind your belt. How did you feel going into this year, knowing that you have these two supporting you behind you?
It was honestly a joy thinking that I've grown in this sport and I have accomplished so many things that it's really hard to do. And it's so amazing. Just like, some people think it's like, oh yeah, you're just crashing into each other's cars. You know, it's
Bunch
kind
of
of stupid.
rednecks,
Yeah, just all
The
stupid
typical
stuff.
stereotype that we all
it's
have.
such a family.
Yeah,
It really is.
it's such a and
community.
it's like even people you don't even know, like up in nationals in Pennsylvania, like there were so many people just helping out, and it's like no snobby
Giving parts,
people.
yeah,
it
it's
was
great.
awesome.
Might be enemies on the track, but
Well,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna,
that's how this
Yeah.
sport I've come to love is.
Yeah.
We're going to kick your butt on the track, but
Right.
in the pits, if somebody really needs it,
Yep,
we're going to lend a hand. And that's how this sport needs to be.
absolutely,
If
yeah.
you guys are watching, if
Leave it
you
on the
guys
track.
see somebody struggling in the pits, leave everything on the track. Let's get everybody involved the best we can on the track, because this is how this sport's going to grow. We got to get everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, even it doesn't need to be in the pits. Like if somebody has a question, I mean.
Yeah.
Yes,
They reach
don't
out
be
to you.
afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Exactly.
trying to hide secrets nowadays, and even for the younger generation.
Yeah.
Let's help out the younger generation, because that's how we're going to be gone.
Right.
So we need to pass the torch to the next generation, and that's how it needs to be.
Oh, and I feel like it's this younger generation, like the youth, that's going to be.
There is some talented youth kids coming up in this sport.
Wow.
I mean,
think that
we
they
got
have the upper hand.
Maddie, we got Cam Penwell, CJ Klein's coming up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Is it Roby?
Yeah,
Charlie Roby.
There's a lot.
Kyle.
Yeah, there's a lot of great youth kids that is going to thrive in this sport
Absolutely.
because of, yes, their parents derby. They got 20 plus years of experience behind a parent's belt, but they're going to pass the knowledge down, pass the knowledge and the sport. They're going to grow as them, and they're going to learn to have their own identity when it comes into going out on the track and competing.
And I feel like they have the upper hand, because they didn't have youth years ago,
Yeah.
So you were coming in 14,
I didn't have
16.
Yeah.
There was no youth when I started either.
I think have kids 9, 10, 11, 12
Yeah.
running and getting that experience. So like when they're the adults running, I mean, they're going to have a lot of experience under their belt.
And in this,
it's going to be very.
there's a March show coming up in Fort Wayne that there's a youth MWFA class.
Oh wow.
Chris Critter from Indiana, from Monrovia, is building and donating a car to a youth driver
That's
has to be, I believe it's either 12 or 14 all the way to 17. The parents can sign them up. It's a $10 ticket.
Oh, wow.
And if they get drawn, they get to keep the car. They get to run the car at the Fort Wayne Derby in March.
See, I think that's great because there's a lot of youth out there, even adults that like they don't have the means or know how to even start at a
Exactly.
derby, and the MWFA is the perfect entry into the derby world.
Which-
I mean, you don't even have to have
No.
really knowledge.
I built an MWFA
in
car
a few hours.
in 2023 in probably 6 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And went and competed against a whole bunch of vans.
Yeah, that's awesome to do that though. To build that, that's really great.
Which, piggybacking off of the MWFA class, this year was a huge MWFA year for Patrick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I believe you won two MWFAs. I believe you got Mad Dog in both of them.
Yep.
Yep.
Harrison County and at Bedford.
Yeah.
And a little Solar, I believe it was.
Yep.
And nothing but a bunch of vans and trucks.
Yeah.
I don't think you would ever ran this year against cars in MWFA.
Right.
Right.
What was your mindset going into an MWFA build when you know you're in a car against a whole bunch of vans?
Yeah. It's you don't stop. I mean, keep moving.
Yeah.
That's what my head thing is. Just keep moving. Just keep it running, and that's all I can do. You know, I mean,
There's not much of them cars.
it's not much. It's
And the
keep
car
moving.
afterwards, oh my gosh.
It was great. There's a video posted. If you guys look up Lawrence County MWFA on this channel, you can see Patrick going haywire against a bunch of vans, and that car was junk.
Yeah, whole back seat was in
Oh,
front.
the front
It
seat,
was
yeah.
just like,
It was.
I was a ball of nerves. It was very entertaining. Like, I mean,
I seen you in the background of the video just going ballistic. You were cheering and then you were afraid.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, because I mean, he's just this tiny little car, and he got big box, like big old
Yeah,
Astro
big truck,
vans and
yeah.
trucks, but honestly, he dominated. He was out there. He did not let off the
Yeah, and
pedal.
I didn't care about that car. That was the fun.
That is the fun
Yeah.
part about MWFA. You do not have to care about the
Right,
car.
you don't have a
Yeah.
lot of money into it. You don't
Yeah,
have a lot of
exactly.
hours.
You got to run it how it is. Knock the windows out, maybe move the
Go.
battery if you want to, and go.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
greatest thing about MWFA.
Yeah, I didn't care about that car. So I put it out the misery.
What's funny is he actually drove it up on the trailer afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is beyond me of how that thing was still running.
I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure you lost a radiator hose and came off the radiator like 5 minutes into the heat, and the heat lasted like 18 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're running 15, 20 minutes without no water.
Right. Yeah.
But 2024, wow, what a year. I mean,
Yeah.
personally for me, I loved watching you guys run all year, but we got to talk about it's a family tradition for you guys. What was it like to have multiple generations pull onto the track at once and be on the track all together finally at the Washington County Fair Fall Show in Salem this year?
For me, it was nerve wracking because I had me, and then I had them two. You know, that's my girls. You know.
Yeah.
I have to keep watching them. You know, so, but they held their own.
Yeah, I mean, also for me too, this was, Maddie has been begging to run adult shows with us, and she's ready, and she thinks that she doesn't need to be in youth anymore. I was not okay with it. I was like, let's wait till she's 15 or 16. But, we were like, okay, you've done Winston Nationals, you ran against the best of the best from America and Canada,
Yeah.
which we met some great people, Kyle and
Awesome.
Hogan. Oh my gosh, cool people, wonderful down there. But I was a ball of nerves. I was not ready, and there were so many cars that ended up showing up. I was like,
I heard there was a lot. I was in Bristol that
I think
week.
it was like 20. No, I'm talking about at Salem, like 27,
Oh, yeah.
30 cars.
There was
something like that.
27 on the
Yeah,
track
there
for
was
minis.
a lot, and she's the youngest one out there, 14 years old, and she said she was ready for it, and we come off the line, and I did not have to worry about her at all. I mean,
No.
she knew what she was doing. She was
ready.
Oh yeah.
But she has
knew.
been prepared for this her entire life, watching you two run. She knew the expectations. She knows how to drive.
Yeah, and she did great. I think she got down to fourth.
She got
I
down
got
to fourth.
fifth. My car was messed up, but she just took a bad shot, which she'll learn.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, we're thankful that you record, so we love to come back and watch our our derby and
footage,
see
yeah.
and just learn
Yeah.
more. So
Yeah.
And that's, people ask me all the time, why do you record? Well, if you take it like football, for example,
Right.
after the game, you're going to go back, watch film, see the coach is going to point out,
Yeah.
this is what we did wrong, this is what we did correct here, and that's kind of why I started doing this 13 years ago, is because you guys are going to want to watch. You guys are going to want to see, all right, this was a bad shot. Well, I could have took that shot.
Right.
Well, I had this wide open. It's just different.
Yeah.
But Maddie, what about you? Driving onto the track with your mom and dad against almost 30 cars, what'd you think?
I felt like it's like the adrenaline just coming down on you. It's like you're nervous, but you're so excited, and there's so many emotions going through. And that's why I love this sport so much, because you just got so many emotions, and they're good emotions, sometimes sad, but that's part of the Derby. I mean, it's part of.
You're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days.
Yeah, bad hair days, good hair days. I mean, helmet hair days.
Bad car days, good car days.
You just never know with this sport what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was really good because I got fourth. I didn't think I'd honestly get that far. So I mean, it was awesome. And I think my dad got Mad Dog. My dad kind of worked for that.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Patrick with yet another Mad Dog this year. How many did you get this year? 3 or 4?
Yeah, it's up there. It's probably 3 or 4 yet, something like that.
If anybody don't know, Patrick is the hardest driver in the family.
Right.
And then you got these two that will send the mail when they can.
Right.
Yeah, hold on.
Here's the thing.
Patrick kind of takes over.
I am not going out there and going ape shit. I don't even know if you can say that word, but I'm not going crazy. Like, I'm going to see the pace. I'm going to wait for everybody else and kind of get the feel of the track, see what everybody's doing. I'm not going to go out there the first of the heat and start going crazy, because to me it's like a chess game. You know, you need to pick and choose your shots. So yeah, I mean, he is an experienced driver. I'm not as experienced as him. So I'm going to lay low. I'm not sandbagging per se, but you know,
You're going to pick your smart shot.
I'm calculated for my shots, okay? Because, you know, some people want to go out there and like, okay, that's great for you, but, you know, I'm trying to make it towards the end, so I'm going to pick and choose my shots. I'm going to go for the wheels, you know, that's what I want to do, and I don't want to, what would you say, like, I am, try to be precise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Very
I'm not going to go out there and make a
strategic.
stupid shot, like, I mean, like chess, like, I'm going to watch and choose and head on a swivel. So, yes, he's crazy, but he has a lot more driving experience than me, so I'm a little bit more laid back. I do know where the skinny pedal is, and I've had to use it, but for the most part, it's calculated shots for me. So, yes, he gets the Mad Dog, but guess who wins all the time?
I think his Mad Dog money probably speaks a little bit more volume.
Whatever. But anyway, I've won quite a bit. So, I mean, I took him out, all right, in Corden.
You did.
got third.
You did.
All right? And Andrew Loxton got second, and I got first. So I was very proud of that because I ended up taking him out.
I do remember that. I was there filming that.
If it comes down to it again, I'm not gonna hold back on him. You know,
I'm not
like,
either.
yeah, and that's fine. So the next
It was
time,
almost,
you buddy.
if it wasn't for some bad luck during that night, it was almost set up very perfect for you to, almost all 3 of you to have a 1, 2, 3 finish, and then Preston Hunter, who will be in a future episode, he was down there right there with you, and he's like a little brother to you guys, a little brother to me.
Family.
I mean,
and his dad, yep.
they're great people, and it could have came down to all 4 of you if it wasn't for some bad luck.
And I mean, that's just the name of the game. You know, like some people, one thing, advice I will give Derby drivers in general is, you know, just because it doesn't go your way during the Derby or you have bad luck, don't get out and act a fool. You know, like it's just the name of the game. There's only going to be one winner. Yeah.
Yeah, Derby is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's a family environment.
Like,
Let's not ruin it for everybody
Yeah,
else.
don't get stressed out about it. Don't act a fool. Don't start cussing people out. Like, just get off the track and be like, hey, you know what? I didn't make it this time. But shake their hand and get them next time. But we see that a lot, and we're hoping that changes with time. Like, I mean, I feel like we're a good example of that. Like, we're definitely
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah,
all 3 of you.
Very important.
All 3 of you like to get out, shake hands, talk to everybody. I mean, that's what it's about, really. We all have a family to go home to at night.
Yeah,
We're not out there to kill each other. We're not out there to pick fights. Everybody's got to go to work on Monday.
Yeah, everybody's doing this because they have one thing in common. They love demolition derbies. You know what I mean?
I think Mark Elliott says it best.
Yeah, but I definitely think that's important, is to not be so hot-headed after a derby and just let it roll off your back and you go next time. I mean, because it's supposed to be enjoyable.
We cannot be on this podcast without talking Maddie's youth national run. Did it sink in once you found out that you were qualified to go, or how did that go?
And honestly, I got this. Okay, so I got my check, and I got third, and I unfortunately pulled my stick too early, and there was somebody that
should have had second.
Should have had second, but that's okay.
I mean, you live and you learn.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I live and learn, and But I got my check, and then I got this envelope, and I was like, is this for money? But I have a check. That doesn't make sense. So I got the envelope, and it's like, you are qualified for youth nationals. Nominated for youth nationals. And I was like, hey mom, look at this. She was like, oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I went onto the track and said, well, guess what, Rankins, we're going to PA.
Yeah. I don't think she thought that we were serious either.
Yeah.
Like, she just
She was dumbfounded. She was like, oh, this is cool, but there ain't no way we're going to be able to go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're going.
Yeah.
Like, we are absolutely going. I still, honestly, to this day, don't think it's sunk in that Maddie went to such a big show. Yeah.
Running for $10,000 at a youth heat.
And
that is insane.
How many cars were in the feature?
There was
50.
50?
I believe 54, 50 something. There was 50 something there.
You made it about 38 minutes in and you lost reverse, so I think she got around, I don't know.
I think she got around 30, 30.
I think 26 is what she placed, officially, I believe.
But she was upset, and we just had to talk to her and let her know that
it is such a great accomplishment to even be nominated to go. But then get out of your heat.
Yeah.
Go to the feature.
Right.
And to say, all right, I'm on the track with 50 of the best youth kids in North America. Not just the United States. There was a lot of Canada people there too. But that speaks volume of how great of a driver you are and how far you've come and how far you can go as long as you keep up the pace that you guys are going.
Yeah, but no more youth for her. She's in with the big
She graduated.
She proved herself.
Youth Nationals was her graduation.
Yeah.
It was my little
last
youth derby. I was like, you know what? I think I got some experience under my belt, and I think I can move up. And I just wanted to drive with him so bad because this is how it goes: 354, 54, and 4. Imagine that on the track. Dad, mother, and daughter. That was
so surreal.
I thought it was great. When I see you guys pull up to Salem, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I have probably seen county fair-wise all year, because you don't usually see the whole family get in. We see the Robies, we seen them, both of them were on the track at Salem, but usually you don't see both. Usually you don't see multiple generations on the track at once. Usually it's either just dad or just kid.
Right.
But you never really get to see it.
Yeah. And it's a male-dominated sport, so
which is, well, where do I go?
You have to have tough
That's where I was going to go with my next question. For you girls, being a male-dominated sport, there's a lot of girls that are coming up in this sport.
Yeah.
I think the biggest name in the sport that's a girl is Jody Braden, and she holds her own when she builds with Dawn. That girl is tough. And how do you guys feel going into a male-dominated sport, being a female?
I would say it's scary, and I don't know. It's scary and it's not. So I feel like sometimes, which kind of bothers me, like guys won't hit us as much because we are a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I understand where they're coming from their point. Like, I'm not going to beat up on a girl, but we also wanted to be treated the same. Be like, we know what we're doing coming in here.
Yes.
And we expect to be hit just like everyone else.
It'd be like a girl playing youth football league.
Right.
Here?
You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you signed up for.
Maddie, what about you?
I've seen people, go after the girls too. I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, it can go either way. Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta just deliver the mail right back to them, just like a guy would.
Yeah. Don't give up.
And that's probably what you have installed into these two's heads as they were coming up through the ranks. Don't be scared.
Yep.
For sure.
Stuff can break, stuff can happen. Just don't be petrified going out there running against all dudes.
Yeah.
You got the skin for it.
I told both of them, I was like, if you get scared or anything like that, there's a stick there. You just break it.
And neither of us have.
Yeah. Neither of them.
No.
Maddie,
look who we got teaching us.
Yeah.
Like Mad Dog.
And Maddie, you being as young as you are, and also being a female, starting to now run against all these adults and a lot of them are males. What do you think?
Underestimation. That's what you get a lot. It's just because, oh well, she's a woman. I mean, and like she can't drive as hard as us. Well, oh no, I can. I can. I'll give you.
I've seen plenty of girls junk some guys over the years, and going back, look at Jody Braden. That woman can drive. That woman, I seen her at Metal Mayhem this year. Literally push guys out of her way so she can work on her car the way she wants to. She's going to tell it like it is, and she's going to go on the track, and she's going to drive her race.
Exactly.
Her and Dawn are perfect for together. They are awesome.
And another one is Melanie Reed. She does many cars.
Melanie does amazing
she's
as well.
Great too. I mean, I've seen her at Pennsylvania, bruises all over. She still got in, and I think ran 2 or 3 derbies that night, or 2 or 3 that whole weekend. And she was all bruised up, and she didn't care. So I mean, I love seeing women go out here.
There was a all powder puff heat at Buried Alive this year.
Yes.
And there was, I believe, 18, maybe 20 something ladies, and they were sending it.
Yeah.
Serena Brandt, love Serena, great photographer. She got Mad Dog.
That's awesome.
That woman can drive, and there's a husband and wife. They're called Mr. and Mrs. Psycho. Them two people, they can drive a car too.
Yeah.
They were in a co-pilot car. Yeah, they got launched over a tire at Buried Alive, but they got out. They were in great blessings. They are humble, probably the most humble people I met that whole weekend. They knew what it was about. It's Derbian. But we're here competing as husband and wife, and we wanted to keep the Psycho name. They are known for driving hard because their names are Mr. and Mrs. Psycho. But looking up to 2025, we are currently in your guys' shop. There's 2025 rides behind us. What does 2025 look like for all three of you? Patrick, we'll start with you.
2025, hopefully, well, I mean, maybe Sturgis again in January, and then maybe some Dead Man, maybe going back to Pennsylvania, maybe.
We'll talk about that when the camera's off.
What else? 2025, probably just local shows, really, more local shows.
Well, there's a few big shows that we're going to go to, though.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I mean,
to be determined if we can twist Patrick's arm a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brittany, what about you? What's your 2025 season look like?
Well, I'm not coming in with a fresh car. I'm coming in with a car.
It's basically fresh.
Yeah, it pretty much is. And hopefully I got better luck with that. I'm just going to take the whole engine out and drop a new one in so I can jump timing and just run pretty much local shows. Possibly run a bigger show, just not sure which one yet.
So that's a to-be-determined surprise.
To be announced, yeah. But mainly just local shows around here. I think that's about it. And just getting ready for Sturgis and stuff like that. What about you?
Yeah.
She'll probably get into a big show.
Yeah, I love big shows. I mean, local shows, but like my very first derby was a big show, and then I just finished off my youth years with a big show. So I definitely want to keep doing the big show because I like the community and the bigger shows. Local towns, I mean, you get some snobby people,
She's trying to talk to me about the
River City Rampage.
That is going to be a great show. It's in Terre Haute this year.
I know. I'm excited.
It's a lot closer. There's a lot of Indiana people trying to get in. As recording, right now that registration is tomorrow at noon, I believe. So we better get our entries in.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
They just put up a light mini truck.
There is mini trucks coming.
Really?
There is mini trucks coming to Terre Haute for RCR.
Wow.
That is going to be insane because there's a lot of guys from Terre Haute that is insane in trucks. There's a lot of guys in Cayuga, just north of Terre Haute. They are ballistic when it comes to trucks. And just across the border in Illinois, there's a lot of people that have been wanting trucks at a big show. There are.
I love trucks.
I'm itching to get another little truck, so I mean.
So we might see Patrick at RCR in a mini truck.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes, we'll probably find out. But obviously, we're here for Derbian. But for all three of you, what is life outside of Derbian, even if there is any? I mean,
Outside of
Our life is Derby.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And what do we do besides Derby?
I mean,
we're constantly in here.
family, basically.
I mean, yeah, but like this is our quality time together. This is our life. Derbies are our life. That's what I'm saying.
This is how you guys spend time together, is
Yeah.
outside in the shop.
And I mean, even if we don't have really a car to build on, which never happens, there's always going to be a derby car in here that is going to be, even like this is for January, we've had it in here for a couple months. It's derby. We just come out here, or we watch derbies. We're watching Modified Demo 10 on YouTube, or we're watching
Derby
TV.
track
Yeah, like
shots.
we just love derbies. I mean, that's pretty much our life. I don't think we know anything but that now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's become my livelihood. It's
Yeah.
become my main source of how I spend my time. I'm always on the road. Either that or I'm always in a shop somewhere
Yeah.
in Indiana, probably promoting you guys.
Yeah.
But derbying is life. And
Absolutely.
there is no other feeling than when, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm not around a shop or not at a derby, I get a little depressed. I get a little sad because
Yeah.
this is all I've done. I started going to derbies when I was 18 months old,
Yeah.
and I haven't slowed down. And then ever since this took off, I really haven't slowed down. I've been.
Oh yeah. How many shows this year?
I got one more. As this is recording, I got one more show for the year, and it'll be show number 48
Wow.
for the year. So I will be at Winter Slam. By the time you guys are watching this,
Yep.
Winter Slam will be live. The videos will be up, so go check them out. Man, it's been a year. It's been a hell of a year.
Yeah.
2025 is going to be an even more of an amazing year, I think.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not going to film as many shows because I think we're going to get back in the car a little bit.
About time.
And it's been a year and a half since my ride at Bash for Cash. But guys, I appreciate you joining me for the first inaugural episode.
Thank you for having us.
No.
It's very,
Exactly.
I always enjoy the support that you guys give me. Always love the shout outs, but I think we got some cars to get started on.
Yeah.
So, guys,
We're behind now, y'all.
guys, if you have enjoyed the first episode of Under the Helmet podcast, click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell. You guys are going to get notified every time I upload a video like this, upload a heat, whatever it may be, come to this channel. Stay tuned. 2025 is going to be the year, and we'll see you there.